you could find more. And good evening once again, fans. You're listening to the Deathmatch Wrestling Podcast. They're more than welcome to come on too anytime they want to come on.
Oh man, those girls talk so like,
Alright. It's a budget thing. Let's see what he's up to.
thank you, man, and thank you for giving me the time.
Tune in right now. And good evening, everyone. You're listening to another episode of the Deathmatch Wrestling Podcast. My guest at this time, he's on the phone. We're live right now with him. Texan, DeDay Cruz. How you doing, man?
Oh man, can't complain. How's everybody doing tonight? How you doing, Dave? Thanks for having me on your show.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's it's a treat to for podcaster to podcaster. Let's show some love to the people. Let's raise the bar. And just let these people know that we're here for everybody, all the fans, wrestling fans and the wrestlers as well. Just in this time of need.
Oh yeah, most definitely in this time of need, and this pandemic going on. Us podcasters got to keep the people entertained, as a lot of people are not doing that now, with podcasts going on, like especially deathmatch wrestling going on.
Absolutely.
I love doing the deathmatch thing, and then the indie thing. I go mainstream, and I do that on my Rated R podcast, but on YouTube is my deathmatch wrestling. You guys don't get, we're not, it's the same difference, but deathmatch wrestling podcast 313 on YouTube.
Right.
That's something that's going on, but I love my deathmatch.
Let me get into it. And how did you dabble into deathmatch wrestling? How did you get your first taste of it as a fan?
Actually, I got into it about almost 2 years ago when I first started my podcast, and
right.
Me and Brian Wellington, that actually runs Swtxn here in Michigan, we got connected, and man, ever since then. It's history. It's been history.
He's got something brewing. Me and him are going to do something next week. I think we got something lined up. Me and him are finally going to have a. I think we're going to go Facebook Live and do some fun stuff. We're going to do something special for the fans.
Nice, yeah. Yeah, Brian actually, he was my debut guest on my Rated R Wrestling podcast. He's a great guest. So he'll tell a lot of stories, man. Mm-hmm. That guy's got 24 years in the business. He's wrestled everywhere. He's wrestled names from Rikishi to Nurko Butcher. He's wrestled Nick Gage, a lot of people, man. And Brian Wellington will let you know a lot of stories that he's had over the 24 years of his career.
Right. That's awesome. Yeah, Horseland, man. I've heard of the company, and I've seen a lot of the footage. And IWTV has two of the. They need more streams, though. They need to get more footage out there. I would love to see some more of the older stuff as well. Yeah,
if you check out my podcast, like I said, or my YouTube channel on it's called Deathmatch Wrestling Podcast 313. I have a lot of the early footage before they teamed up with Smart Mark and IWTV, and soon to be a fight when they were before all this happened. But I have a lot of the matches. I got Peter B. Beautiful versus Chuck Stein in a no-rope barbed wire match. I got I just got so much of the early stuff, and I got an actual interview with Madman Pondo on there.
Oh, that's awesome! Madman's the one and only, man. He's the man. He's always been the. He's one of my favorite guests to always have. He came on again. He's great. He's just a great character. You love him. I mean, and we're proud of him because he's also the Game Changer Hall of Famer. So we shout out to him for that. Big ups for that.
Oh yeah, big shout out to Madman Pondo, man. He's a great guy. In and outside, inside of the ring, he's not so pleasant, but outside of the ring, man, he's a great guy. I actually hung out with him after he won the Horseland Deathmatch title back last year. I want to say last summer. Great guy.
I've seen him wrestle in Virginia at Vicious Outcast Wrestling at one show. Man, he's just a character, man. He's great. He just gets in there, does his thing, and CZW too. I've seen him at Tournament of Death, and just, man, he could tear it up.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that one. He tore it up with Chuck Stein, he tore it up with Peter B. Beautiful, man. Peter B's now. You want to talk about the characters in the deathmatch? Deathmatch characters. You got Peter B. Beautiful now. That's one flamboyant dude, the Queen of Extreme. That dude right there is something different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, like we were saying before, what got you hooked into deathmatch wrestling?
Man, just all the stuff that goes along with the storytelling, and then you got a lot of the light tubes, you got the barbed wire, you got anything that fans could bring, that they can imagine up, and just a lot of the blood and guts that I used to love back in the day when I used to watch WWF Hardcore Wrestling and ECW back in the day. Yeah,
ECW, man. There was my friend just posted something on the one of the blogs. Who's your favorite tag team of ECW? And I said Public Enemy. Public Enemy, man, had a bit of tag. Man, I miss those guys. I miss them.
Oh yeah. And then you still got New Jack doing some crazy shit right now. And then I watched that Dark Side of the Ring, and then I just seen a post earlier of New Jack. He had one of those little firecrackers that you set off, and you know what I'm saying? He put it in his eye, and he let it pop in his eye. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, this guy's still going.
I'll tell you what, New Jack can do anything, man. He's been, we've seen what he's done in his days of wrestling, man. I mean, I remember going to a show, and he actually wrestled one of my friends, Danny DeMonto. Shout out to him for ICW wrestling, the No Holds Barred. But he actually faced him in a match and had brought a VCR to the ring and whacked him at a Jersey All Pro show. Yeah, it was crazy. With just the sound of that hitting the fucking and then he had a claw too, the massive fucking knife claw. The Nightmare Claw, or whatever the fuck he uses. Wolverine Claw,
Yeah. Definitely.
But, times like that, man. ECW, New Jack, it just look at the and you know what? I never really knew that story behind that kid there, getting 17 years old, getting into the business. That was something to learn, Like, I never, and that's true for a lot of people that, kids do that, illegally,
Yeah, that's true, man. And I actually watched that, and it was crazy to see that 17-year-old kid was doing that illegally. But I mean, back in the 90s, back in the 90s, you could basically get away with anything. But and then expecting him telling New Jack, hey, I want to do this, I want to bleed. Like he said, you don't tell me that because I'm going to do what I got to do. And then, for his wanting to bleed, he almost got killed.
Absolutely. But hey, but New Jack's telling his stories, which is all. But they really didn't, when you were watching that, they didn't mention Paul Heyman at all.
No, they didn't. They actually didn't.
I was surprised.
No.
But the Vic Grimm thing, man, that match there, I remember that from XPW days and shit, too, like watching that fall,
Yeah, I remember that one that when he actually made that guy, when he pushed that guy off of that big stack of stilts and stuff off of the into the ring where that dude almost fell out. The kid almost died.
Man, remember XPW? That was a fucking cool fed. Man, they really shout out to Homeless Jimmy. Man, he's still around. My boy. That's one of my good friends. You love Homeless Jimmy. You need to. I need to get you set up with him. I think you'd have a cool combo with the homeless man.
I would appreciate that a whole lot, man. That's great.
Yeah, but so anyway, man. So like I said, deathmatch wrestling. What? So you just love it all. You just love it. You just you get to see it and you feel it, as a fan.
Yeah, like I said, Horseland's my home-based deathmatch promotion because, I mean, that's basically the only thing that we got in Michigan that's deathmatch-based. But, after the matches, I get to hang with the boys backstage, and it's just all great, man. It's not like, their egos get in their ways or whatever, they're just like us. They're regular people just like you and me. You know what I'm saying? They like to have a good time and do what they like to do. They like to show us what they do in the ring. But after that, they're regular people like you and me and like to have fun.
Absolutely. They're cool outside the ring no matter what. I mean, I see that. I did go to, I'm sure you see I go everywhere, man. You've probably seen all my pictures. I'm well round, like the Game Changer and H2O scene,
Yeah, I've seen that, man. Most definitely. And I was looking at it actually yesterday and today, and you get around like Tupac said. I get around, but you get around. But yeah, that when Horace was supposed to do their pay-per-view with GCW, I was ready to, you know what I'm saying? Get into that GCW mode and hang out with the GCW guys also. But I mean, I had, I've hung with Schlack, Nick Gage, Jimmy Lloyd, the list goes on, Tony Deppen, and, there's a lot of people that I've hung with, backstage of Horror Slam, because they do end up in Horror Slam, and it's actually fun.
Yeah. It's a good product. You guys put a good show on.
Definitely.
I mean, event. Excuse me. We gotta say event, not show. Well, a show, event, whatever. It's all the same. It's entertainment. It's all our entertainment blood. How's that?
There we go.
It's our crimson mask of fun.
Yeah, most definitely. It's our everyday Christmas.
What? As a fan of wrestling, what have you ever built shit?
Have I ever what?
Built weapons.
Yeah, actually, when I was last year before Horror Slam left their first location, Rockies, me and Chris Kahlberg, I think I'm saying his name right, and Dustin, and we used to build weapons in the parking lot, like to the one that Chuck Stein used. I got the footage on there. We help you build all that stuff, man. It's actually fun to build the weapons in the parking lot.
Yeah, I've dabbled too in Game Changer with helping out. I've made some sick ass shit in H2O and other promotions as well. It's just fun. It's just my friend is really into the tax. My friends, we're all like creative. You got to be creative. You got to be, sick and twisted minds that we have.
Most definitely. I had some stuff that was used, but as I was trying to, move it around, it actually got messed up, so I had to move it out. But I got a lot of Horse Slam stuff that's gonna get put up in my office. That's like I said, my studio's under construction, but I'm gonna move a lot of my Horse Slam stuff into my office.
Oh, that's awesome! I can't wait to see that. Yeah, I got some stuff on my wall. I got a lot of collectibles.
Most definitely. I got a lot of collectibles, a lot of autographs from mainstream to Horse Slam. I got Nick Gage, Pondo's. I've actually got Pondo's book signed by him with a thumbprint of his blood.
I'm actually looking at a 2x4 or a piece of blanking right across my room, and actually signed by Madman Pondo from the event. I totally forgot about that.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Dried blood. It's still fucking like crisp. I'll take a picture, but you get a kick out of it. Yeah.
Nice. Hell yeah, definitely. I'll get a kick out of that.
Yeah. But no, I remember, just a bunch of my friends road trips, man. That's all we would do, just road trips up to Virginia, or I've been to IWA Mid-South. I've been to first time actually. I love telling. The first time I went out there was 2016 for King of the Death Matches. That's when I met Jeff King for the very first time.
Man, Jeff King is a great guy. I'll tell you about Jeff King, man. Me and Jeff King, he's actually the Horse Slam champion, and I've known Jeff King since I started this podcast. And Jeff King, man, he's the greatest person on earth, man. He's down to earth, and he likes to have fun, man. I love hanging with Jeff King.
Yeah, he's a good people, man. He, when he came down, he did a show at H2O, man. He gave me a big old hug. I was like, yes, that's the Jeff King I know, the old rough, tough son of a bitch. But it was good to see him wrestle, I wish hopefully he'll be back eventually, once this, we'll be able to see him again wrestle,
Yeah. And one thing I do love about Jeff King, shout out to Jeff King, is man, one thing I can say is he gives us all all the blood that he spills is for all the fans and for all of us. And he says it every time. He explains it. It's for all of us, because if it wasn't for us fans, and for us, loving the game that they do, there would be no wrestling without any of us. Without the wrestlers, without the podcasters, without the fans, it would not be possible.
You ever travel? Have you ever decided to come down to the East Coast to see some wrestling?
I was gonna go to Chicago for a GCW pay-per-view. That was before my mom passed away in September. Let her rest in peace. But in September I was supposed to go to Chicago. Ryer with Rachel and a couple of friends.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I actually eventually, in time, do want to head out there and hit a couple H2Os and hit a couple GCWs and dabble a little bit. And maybe one day when I head out there, you know, me and you can connect and do a live thing.
Yeah, we could do some stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm always down for fun time, but drink a lot of beer, of course. Come on.
Oh yeah, most definitely. We'll get intoxicated and medicated all day, man.
Well,
yeah,
I don't do the Medicaid.
Oh, okay. I'll do that myself, but I mean, I get the Medicaid.
All right, you can do that. All right, do the dabs for Deshaun. How's that?
There we go.
Shout out to my boy Deshaun. You know, he's a great character too as a podcaster. Really shows they got that new Twisted Bud thing they're doing right now. Shout out to them with KG, and I think their guest tonight is actually David. Oh shit, man, Xavier. Desmond Xavier's on. He's on their podcast.
Oh, yeah. Actually, Cody, I believe Cody's on too. Cody Fleming, the one you did Wrestle Range the other day.
Yes.
But I believe he got some going on right now too.
Yes, he has one of my other fellow podcaster friends, Robin Nelson of Wrestle Popcast and Beyond the Ring, on his show tonight, which is really cool.
Okay.
And then tomorrow night, actually, I have Cody on, which is going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Or not tomorrow, yeah, tomorrow night, and then I have his partner, then I have another guy coming on, Danny coming on.
Okay, yeah, from Michigan, yeah, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. Definitely, man. We all got to support each other, and then you'll be on my show on Thursday night at starting at 6:30. Rated R Wrestling Podcast on Open Talk Radio Flash.
Absolutely.
BlogTalkRadio.com.
Absolutely. We'll plug that again after, you know. I hate when people plug during it before. You ever notice that people will plug? Come on, do it after, guys.
Yeah, no, actually, that's what we did. I had Vicky Dice on there. Shout out to Vicky, NWA television champion. I had me and my friend Martell's L on his Wrestle Talk with the D. Mm. We had him on, and he did the same thing. I kind of did the same thing. So I mean, I know where you're coming from on that.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all good. You know. But I see you're gonna have some guests coming up on your show as well, man. You got some. You're bringing some good talent in, man. You're bringing to one of my friends also, Casanova Valentine, the hipster heartthrob, man. That guy, you know, big shout out to him. I love that dude. He's
definitely, man. Casanova Valentine. I'm gonna ask him about his career, what got him interesting, and the last match he had at Horseland versus Chuck Stein. Mm-hmm. That match was actually brutal, and I'm gonna ask him how did he take the bag with the bleach when he faced Homicide and ended up taking some stabs in the face with the fork? I was like, oh my God.
Oh, that night, man, I was there. Oh, it was awesome. It was wild. There's another show you would love. When it comes around, that's another promotion. IWC when it comes around. No holds barred, man. That's the shit, you know? It's just a crazy night of fucking bringing back the old days of no holds barred, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
I actually watched the no holds barred, but the one that caught my eye was the Tessa versus Nick Gage.
Yes, that match. I was lucky enough. I just got there just in time for it. You know, I got to the door. Place was packed. Place was packed. So you know, you look out the front door. You know, you look out. You're walking in. Fuck, it's already fucking packed. Shit, what am I going to do? So, luckily, I went up to the second floor. They had some spots above the ring, and Nick Gage saw me down below. Yo, what's up? You know, yeah, he knows me, you know, because I'm a good friend of his also, you know, which is awesome. But, yeah, now to see that fight was a good one. That was a good one. I can't wait to see what they bring next, you know, who they're going to bring out next, you know. I know Shaz McKenzie wants to get a taste of it. There's so many other talents that want to, you know, ramble, you know, get the fight in.
Definitely, man. The one thing I can say is Nick Gage is a cool ass guy. I chilled with Nick Gage a few times when he came to Horse Town. It's like 3 times, but the last one we had a few beers and he gave a shout out to my podcast when he faced Breyer. Yeah, that was the last time he came. When he faced Breyer, he gave my podcast a shout out too.
Yeah, he's not a podcaster. He don't like that shit, though. I've asked that millions of times, Nick, you know. But it's all right. He's to himself, keeps to himself.
Yeah, most definitely. You can tell that. But yeah, cool guy though.
But I see you're gonna have an Impact guy on. Man, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna have I'm hoping I say his name right. Rohit Raja.
Yeah.
Something like that. I'll get it. But
right.
Yeah, Rohit Raja. He's signed to Impact now. But yeah, that's gonna be cool. I had actually a few weeks ago I had Ricky Morton, WWE Hall of Famer, on there too.
Oh, cool. Man, I gotta do. Man, might have to see about those guys.
Yeah, man. And then I have about 7 episodes in. I just started this Rated R one about 2 months ago, but ever since then, man, it's been like super hot. But most of the reason is because of the pandemic that's going on. But I mean, I'm like, shoot, might as well reach out to everybody I can while this stuff is hot.
Yeah, and everybody's taking a chance at it. I mean, everybody's and they're interacting, which is really cool. Is I've been noticing a lot of you go on Facebook Live or you go on Instagram, and a lot of the wrestlers are actually like the AEW wrestlers to any kind of wrestlers. They're just reaching out to their fans. They're talking. They're just cutting shit, which is cool.
Yeah, most definitely. That's very cool. Like I tried talking to what's his name, the Godfather. I tried talking to the Godfather, and he said in the future that he would do my show. I'm just hoping that it's somewhere before this pandemic is over. I mean, if not, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, and Eric Ryan, I was supposed to have Eric Ryan before I had that Impact dude, actually, this Thursday. I was supposed to have Eric Ryan. Shout out to him. He had to reschedule, and I told him, it's all good, I understand how stuff goes.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, you know what, thinking back of Dark Side of the Ring also, I actually had Dr. D. David Schultz on my podcast. How crazy is that? That's going to be like the new episode coming out this week on the Dark Side.
Yeah.
Isn't
that was actually, I wanted to see, that's actually tonight at 10. I want to see that. I'm actually going to watch that tonight.
Yeah, I actually interviewed him back in, first couple, I dug into my podcast, I had him on my podcast. It's in my archive. How's that?
There you go, nice, yeah. That's crazy, man. I want
because what's the wild thing about him, and I tell everybody, I remember, at a young age, we had wrestling that came to town about mid-'80s. It was called NWF Wrestling.
Okay.
And
nice.
he came to a show and wrestled a wrestler, and also Bruiser Brody. My first time seeing Bruiser inside a steel cage versus Jules Strongbow. How about that?
Okay. Nice. Yeah, that's definitely. I wasn't really born in the mid '80s, but I mean, yeah,
I got to see it. So yeah, I was excited in a hockey rink. Come on, it was awesome. My hometown.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you get it in a venue like that, you get more of the feeling. That's what I like about the NDC too. Is you get more of the electricity, you get more of the feeling than you would in a mainstream arena. You know what I'm saying? You get excitement when you get your little pops here and there in the mainstream, but when you see it live in an indie, in a little venue, you know what I'm saying? You get more feeling, more pop.
Let me ask you this: Do you like indie? Do you like indie more than the WWE right now?
I actually do. I'm not gonna lie to you, and I'm not gonna lie to nobody.
No,
I like the WWE. You know what I'm saying? I watch it. You know what I'm saying? To talk about it on my podcast on Thursday nights, and
right.
I have to talk about the mainstream stuff, but really, I'm big on watching my Horseland matches. I'm big on watching my GCWs, my H2Os, and my indie wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I like the indie wrestling a lot more.
And AEW, which is really made it fucking, Cody, man. It really cool. It's just a cool promotion,
Yeah, AEW, don't get me wrong, I like AEW because actually most of the roster is made out of indie people, you know what I mean?
Yes, and people that we've seen.
When they first started doing it, they went around the world and going around to indie promotions and picking a lot of indie people, just like when, I forgot where they went, but Heidi Katrina was a part of Chris Jericho's team.
Yeah. it's just awesome. It's just, and I'm sure you see Joe. Of course, he's one of my buddies too. It's like insane. It's like all these people you grow up watching. They made it big.
Definitely. Like I'm trying to get Joey on there. I messaged him about a week ago. He still hasn't gotten to me, but I mean, like I said, it's a miss or hit with it. But I mean, it is what it is. But
yeah,
like he's busy. You know what I mean? But it would be cool if I got him on there.
Yeah, there's so many guys I want to get. I've had most of the. I've had Marco Stunt on before he actually.
Oh, nice.
I've had Marco before he launched. Right before he got signed. That was for Game Changer. After Game Changer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know that.
The Lost in New York. The Lost in New York. Oh, what a night that was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, man. That's awesome.
They just I was just rewatching it on they just streamed that again on IWTV, the Lost in New York. I was like, wow,
okay.
That's cool. That's cool.
Hell yeah. It's always fun and cool when you can interview either somebody big that's in the business or somebody that, you know what I'm saying,
yeah,
just getting signed to a big promotion or whatever.
Absolutely. Darby Allin. I mean, I had him on a podcast. We talked about skateboarding. It was awesome. Like, just like how he got into skateboarding, like when he, as a rough cut early age, I remember that podcast. Go back and listen. You'll be like, holy shit. He was at Game Changer too, or at On Point, Game Changer, the compound, when we had the compound. I missed that place. Damn. But they had their issues,
Yeah, most definitely. Like, yeah, that's like I said, it's fun and exciting, when you get somebody big or somebody that's going to get signed. And even if they're, if you can get a lot of the big indie names, like that's what I do too. I bring a lot of the Michigan indie guys onto my show. Mm-hmm. That way they can get their stuff exposed, or if somebody, outside the Michigan area hears them and get booked somewhere big time.
What's your worst episode you ever had experienced? There's so many. Or you've had a boring guest on. You've had somebody that's just, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna slam. I was in this ring. I had a match with this guy. Just like really just dumb.
I can't. If I go down the list, I can't recall. That. It's just a crazy thing. Like everybody I had on there has been great. It's like.
Really early on, like early on episodes, yeah, like that's what I've looked back and look at. Oh my god, I'm an idiot for okay, I had a dumb guy on my podcast.
Actually, the one I did with I wouldn't really call it because Lance was really good. Like I had an interview with Lance in Hawaii, and I'm gonna have him next week on my show. Oh, cool. I felt like I came off a little, that one was kind of iffy, maybe.
Yeah. Because the audio always static. You get the audio, or it's just like, is this going to take forever? I hope they come back on,
Definitely, yeah. That's what I felt like. Is this interview going to be too long, or
yeah.
That's what I felt with that.
Or you have a guest. Oh, I'm going to come on your podcast. Okay, I DM. Do you have any times? Yeah. No.
Yeah, actually, James Ellsworth, I tried getting him to come on my show.
He's a dickhead. He's a dickhead,
I texted him, I was like, my podcast in Detroit, it's a simple call-in, you ain't got to really travel nowhere.
Yeah.
Or if you don't want to do no video, we ain't got to do no video. He's like, well, what's your podcast? I was like, it's a Radar podcast, and this.
Yeah.
And I sent them a link to my interview last week that I had, and he didn't respond, so I'm like, all right.
Fuck him.
He said,
yeah.
He was like, at first he was like, I might, you know what I'm saying? But then he ended up changing his mind, so I'm like, all right, that's cool.
yeah. It's just, it's funny. Some of these guys, you just can't even reach out to like I did Tommy Dreamer one time, and I asked him, want to come on my podcast? No, kid. I'm signed by Siri. I'm like, fuck you, Dreamer.
Yeah, You know what? I did the same thing. I tried reaching out to Dreamer. He said the same thing.
Really?
That was like about a month ago, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm signed to Sirius XM." I'm like, "Oh, okay. I mean, that's cool. You know, I ain't stressing it."
Yeah. I was like, you know what? Thanks, Tommy, but you know what? Okay, I'm not signed. I don't have a contract. You know?
Right, you know, that's the whole thing.
That's the good thing about us. We're free agents, you know.
Definitely. That's what I like about it too. Is that we can mingle and do what we want.
We can. I mean, we can make up contracts. Yes, we can. There is a policy. You can actually create a podcast. You know, there's actually policies out there that you can actually get yourself. You know.
Well, yeah, definitely. That's definitely. But I'm like, fuck that. I'd rather be a free agent. So when somebody big wants to come my way, and I'm ready to do it, or if it's worth doing the contract thing, I'll do it myself. You know.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sign it, and be sealed. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, oh man, I reached out to this one podcast, and it was a booking company for all pod. They charge for the guests. They charge for the guests. I was like, really?
What? I can't believe that.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
That's also another one. I was like, flaw podcast. Yeah, like these people. Come on, all these wrestlers really want to be contract. Let me schedule you in. You know, can we get this guy? No. You know. I was like, sorry, I'm a free agent.
Yeah, that's it. I'm free agent, and there's no changing unless it's worth it.
I got merch. Hey, I'll sell it. You know, come on.
Definitely.
You know.
Get a pro wrestling tees. Go on pro wrestling tees. Fuck it.
Nah, pro wrestling tees or collar and elbow, man. It's my go-to places. You know.
Yeah, most definitely.
But what else we got, man? Yeah, so the indie scene's just hot, man. What do you think? I mean, it's just right now, if you like any kind of wrestling, you know.
Yeah, like I say every time, and I say every day, is wrestling right now. You know, now that we have more of a variety, it's like a buffet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's something for everybody. You have WWE, which more than likely there's more than 50% that people are going to stick with WWE till the day they die, from the day they were born. And then you got Impact Wrestling, which is something, you know, the alternative. That's always been the alternative since '02 when WWE bought out.
Yeah, but you notice you really don't hear too much about Impact as much anymore. Like, you really don't.
You don't, but I actually watch Impact. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I watch Impact on Tuesday nights on Access, and it's like they're no audience. They're actually arena matches.
Yes, all that stuff like they're doing now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually really good. I like the way Impact's doing it because where their people are actually used to sitting, it's actually blocked off and it's dark. It's not like everybody else where they're doing like AEW. They're having people sit. They're having their wrestlers sit in the audience. WWE has their LED light boards in the is where the crowd is supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Impact actually is, you know, like making it dark to where there's actually nothing to be seen, where it actually has that real feel to it.
I'll have to check that out. I'll check it out. Give something to watch.
Yeah.
I haven't watched.
Exactly.
I haven't watched Impact since. Jeez, I don't even know. Like, I'll catch a glimpse of it here and there. You know, like you fall out of stuff once in a while. You know, it's like WWE. Yeah. Like I'll catch NXT. That's the only hottest NXT in 205. You know.
Right. Yeah, that's where it's at in WWE. The only thing I don't like about Impact Wrestling is Tessa Blanchard being the heavyweight champion. I mean, that boundary should have been broken when Chyna won the Intercontinental title. She should have been the one to break the barrier and winning the heavyweight title. But I mean, either way, I don't feel like a woman should be holding the men's championship, and I feel like a man. I mean, I get a lot of heat for this a lot, you know what I'm saying, on my podcast, and before I started this, is Nyla Rose, you know what I'm saying, no disrespect to him, I mean, I'm sorry, everybody, but I don't believe that a transgender should be in a women's division holding the women's championship, because that degrades the whole the whole division and the championship. Like a woman shouldn't hold a men's heavyweight championship. You might as well take away all the genders and make one title and let it be a free for all.
Mm. Yeah, but you know what, Tyler? Intergender. It's Hey, we support it all now. You know what I mean?
No. I'm not saying that it's bad, but I'm saying like in mainstream wrestling, if you're gonna keep it by the rules, do it all the way. Like I know James Ellsworth.
We gotta see, like you say, Nyla. We should see Sonny get it. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes. There you go. Shout out to Sonny Kiss.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I mean. I don't mean it in like I said.
No. Right.
But you know what I mean? I believe if you're going to keep the rules, like, Cody knows the rules, but the whole thing is if you're going to be on a television show and you're going to keep the rules 100%, keep it 100%.
Switch it. Yeah, switch them up. Switch it. Switch the belt. Give it up to somebody else,
Right, exactly, and let the indie scene flourish and doing the intergender stuff. Like I said, James Ellsworth had that intergender title that he got flowing around in the indies that he had, that Gilbert had. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's fine, but if you're trying to keep the mainstream and keep the rules 100%, do it.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I have an intergender friend that's attacked. Well, actually, shout out to Ray Lynn from Wrestler. She actually won the intergender Sizzling Stan Styles intergender bonanza. Yeah, there we go. That's
there you go.
It's a fun little promotion.
Yeah, like I said, I see nothing wrong with it in the indies, but
yeah,
I don't see no wrong, in the genders or nothing like that.
Mm-mm. But yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you're getting at. We'll get into that another time.
Definitely. That's another story.
That's another story. I mean, no. What was your, as a kid growing up, what was your first wrestling event?
My first wrestling event was,
wow.
1997 was a Sunday night heat.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually, it was one match I do specifically remember was Matt Hardy versus Viscera, and I had a laser pointer, and I pointed the laser on Viscera, and he got blinded by it, and the security actually chased. Boy, they tried to get me, but I actually ran out.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my first wrestling event. Yeah, that was actually fun.
That was crazy. That's crazy. I mean, I'll tell you, I'm sure you heard it. I don't know if you listened to my podcast, but I've always mentioned it. I went one year for Christmas time. My sister took me to this city. We went to the restaurant, the WWE's restaurant at the time. Sunday night.
New York, yeah.
And they were filming Stone Cold and Booker T were going at it, in the supermarket. And Taz and I actually, I'm sitting there, I'm sitting right there. Michael Cole and Taz, and we're just like, me and Taz were like, who's the bastard figure four? Taz is doing like, who's the bastard figure four? I was like, woo, Ric Flair, We were like, I didn't realize that we were worldwide, you know what I mean? I didn't know this was being televised, So then I was like, oh shit, this is awesome. I'm going to have a fun time. Call my mom up. Mom, I'm on TV tonight, Please videotape this. And then I finally got it remastered after.
Oh, nice! That's awesome. Hell yeah!
Yeah.
That's what you always
and I remember that night in specific because it was actually Christian and it was Edge and Taz were having that angle in the ring. Remember? They were getting the heat and stuff, and Christian and Edge were actually on the stage that night too, so I got like a lot of guests that night. I was like excited, This is a kid. And then you see Booker T, and then they cut to the promo, cut to the Booker T match, and supermarket match. It was a great night.
I actually don't remember that. I watched that live. I remember that was a SmackDown.
Yeah,
I remember that night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but towards the end of it, when he's checking them out, I yell, paper or plastic. You can't hear it though. You can't hear it though, but you hear like the other stuff on the Heat. I think Prince Albert was out in the ring or something, and Chuck Colombo. They were in the ring.
Yeah. Nice, yeah. Man, I can go on about wrestling stories. You ever been to a WrestleMania?
I was at WrestleMania 5 as a kid.
Nice.
Yes.
I went to WrestleMania 23.
Yeah. Me and my dad went to WrestleMania 5, stood up, my dad got his tickets, nosebleed seats, 5 rows away. I'm sitting there with, in commentary is Jesse the Body Ventura and Gorilla Monsoon. And I'm holding my Mega Powers Explode sign, fluorescent.
Nice. I'm gonna have to look at that. I'm gonna have to watch out for that.
Yeah, I've been to SummerSlam. I've been to ECW's One Night Stand 2 in New York City at the Hammerstein. Yeah, I've been to what the hell is it? I've been to a couple of WWE house shows and just I've been to the pay-per-view, No Chance or something. I forget what I've been to so many shit. It's just crazy, But
Definitely.
I can't remember the last time I go. I think the last time I went to Ring of Honor was probably after CM Punk got signed.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, 06. I remember that. Man, I've been to a lot of WWE myself. I went to Survivor Series 99 when The Rock, when Stone Cold got ran over. I went to Vengeance 02 when The Rock was in that triple threat. I've been to WrestleMania, Royal Rumble 09. Like I said, WrestleMania 23 house shows. I've been front row to SmackDown house shows.
Yeah.
Man, I've been everywhere.
Yeah, it's an experience, man. It's an experience, The house shows are different. But you know what? Be glad that we got to go and we got to hear Howard Finkel's voice. You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely. Let him rest in peace. Yeah, definitely. I heard Howard Finkel's voice. First time I heard Howard Finkel's voice was with me and my best friend UC. Watch out for him on Facebook, Mr. Tragedy. Yeah, we was there. It was 99. I first heard Howard Finkel's voice, man. It was awesome.
Yeah, and I think WrestleMania 5 hearing it, that was the moment, And then actually at a house show, he got on the microphone and he said to I think it was Ric Flair and Eugene were out doing something, and it was a bicycle. Oh, Eugene was riding a bicycle around the ringside. What are you doing on that bicycle? You shouldn't be riding that in here,
Oh, yeah.
Before they go live, before they were taping, recording, what I mean?
Definitely, yeah, definitely. Man, Fink is the one and only. There's no other like Fink.
Well, let's talk now, man. You got me talking wrestling. Who were you guys to look up to as growing up? Who are your guys?
Man, my number one wrestler is one of the most electrifying men in all of entertainment, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He's a big reason why cockiness was cool back in the day, and the reason why cockiness is cool right now. The reason to talk trash and latest SmackDown, Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, straight out of San Antonio, Stone Cold, Triple H, Mick Foley, The Undertaker, man, those were my guys.
Yes, a lot of the guys that we watched and it progressed over the years. It's amazing. And you think about it, Stone Cold has a kick-ass podcast, Fucking.
Oh, fuck yeah, he does. Broken Skull Ranch, yeah, man.
Did you?
That's awesome.
Did you get
Ricky Page there?
I was gonna say, did you listen to that? What did you think of that? It was good. That was
man. That was actually one of the best interviews and you know what? It's actually great that one of the Indies guys got to go on one of the big podcasts. That's a great thing that's going on.
Yeah.
Him
and Joey got a chance at it. It was really cool. I'm glad.
Nice, yeah, but I listened to it. It was a great interview. He talked about the reason why he got into wrestling and Mick Foley, how Mick Foley was his go-to guy, and that's the reason why he fell in love with wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely. Wrestling has changed for a lot of people,
Yeah, definitely it has.
I mean, talking about growing up, yes, I was a Hogan fan. I was a Macho Man. Jake the Snake. Shout out to Jake the Snake, man. The man's still going. His promos are so awesome. And to see what he's doing on AEW with the talent, is pretty
definitely.
cool.
Jake the Snake is. Man, Jake the Snake, to me, I mean, he's always been great on the mic.
Do me a favor. Do me a favor, man. If he ever comes to Texas, go to one of his comedy tours. Absolutely, you shit your pants and laugh your hardest.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead first.
I actually was going to say I wanted to go to Texas this summer, so I might have to hit that.
Yeah, because I got a chance one year, man. I lucked out. I called up the radio station, my local radio station. They were calling, you could win tickets for Jake the Snake Roberts is going to be in town, comedy tour. So I called up. I won 2 tickets. Me and my dad went. Man, it was just a funny night of stories by Jake the Snake Roberts. Like, just the way, growing up, and he remembers, coming down to my area and signing autographs as a young kid. He didn't mention that, but he knows, But, no, the stories behind him and the snake, it's unbelievable. You'd be like, wow, this is really cool. You'd have a blast just listen to the stories, and you shit your pants when you go home,
That's like that. Yeah, like I said, when I go down to Texas, I'm gonna have to figure out where that's at, and I'm gonna have to go find that and go laugh my ass off. Pretty sure.
Or gotta do the Mick Foley one too. That's an experience too. I'd love to get to that. That's something I'm looking at. I would like to go to the Mick Foley tour.
Yeah, I heard that he's pretty funny, and that's somebody I do want to get to meet too. You know what I'm saying? I've never got to meet Mick Foley. I've been to WWS events. I've met The Rock. I've met a lot of WWF guys, but I've never got to meet Mick Foley.
Mm-hmm. And that's one of my guys I got to meet. I was lucky enough to see him. Got to meet him.
Yeah, I didn't get that pleasure yet.
Yeah, he came to my town one time, I remember. Actually, he's wrestled in my town when I was a young kid, too. He fucking had his first match with Eddie Gilbert, man, with a hardcore match down a fucking staircase with a trash can.
That sounds like Mick Foley there. That sounds like him.
Yeah, but, man, this was awesome. I want to say thank you for coming on, and I cannot wait to come... Oh, actually, Thursday night.
Yes, Thursday night, guys, on the Rated R Wrestling Podcast 313, starting at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We are going to have the host of the Deathmatch Russell Podcast, David Russell, on the show, and it's going to be a great show, just like tonight was.
Yes.
We're going to have laughs, and we're going to have fun, and it's going to be a great show, you guys. 6:30 p.m. is going to start.
But you know what? I want to say thank you for coming on. And we're gonna do. Well, yeah, we're gonna. I think we're gonna have some conversations. I think me and you might have to make like a death. I'm gonna have to work on. Maybe we could like do a deathmatch show. I'm thinking we could. I think we could do some things here. But we'll talk off camera, fans. This is business. But
yeah, most definitely.
Let's just say thank you for coming on. DeDay. I'm just going to say DeDay Cruz because that's easier to say. All right, as that.
Yeah. Yep, that's fine with me.
Hey, plug away your podcast, Rated R. Go ahead.
You guys tune in Thursday nights, every Thursday night starting at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, the Rated R Wrestling Podcast on Blog Talk Radio, Open Talk Radio, The Flash 313. Also, check out my YouTube channel, Deathmatch Wrestling Podcast. That's regular wrestling podcast 313. We have matches from Horror Slam before they teamed up with Smart Mark Radio. I have a interview with the future MM3, the third generation wrestler. I have an interview with Man Pondo, and I have an interview with Lance and Hawaii.
And you have a lot of guests coming up as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. I got a lot of. Oh, let me not forget about that. Thank you. I got Impact Wrestler right here, Raja, and I got Casanova Valentine. So it's going to be a great show this Thursday night, so don't forget to tune in. And then we got this great gentleman right here, David, that's going to join my show too.
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. And, just check out Facebook, fans, and that's where you can find him on the wrestling. Oh, man, I'm Rated R Wrestling. Rated R. You do like a cool theme, man. I could hear it. Something. You should. I bet that's in the works. You got to get yourself
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But, all right, man, you have a good night, and I will have this up in like 10 minutes. How's that?
You too, my friend. Have a good one.
I'm gonna plug away now because I'm gonna be on so many shows this week. I don't even know. I'm gonna take a break. I think after this week also. I need to. I've done that. You know what? Everybody has to take their. You gotta take a break. You gotta take a break once in a while. You know.
Yeah, most definitely.
But I gotta get the audio. I want to get the audio ratings up there. You know, you gotta get that out there, market it. But that's the way.
Yeah, most definitely.
But thank you for coming on and have a good night. And I'll just plug away as we hang out.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Fans, that was an awesome interview tonight. Great guy there. Southern Texan DeDay Cruz, man. Listen to him on the Rated R podcast and the Deathmatch podcast 313. Also, yes, if I'm saying it right, but you know what, man? I'm just having a great week of wrestling. Like you all as well. Enjoy your professional wrestling and independent wrestling, your deathmatch wrestling, and just all the wrestling. We're just, like we always say, we're spoiled by wrestling. Flip it on. What's up? What's on this weekend? AEW. This Wednesday night. And check them out. And so much other wrestling as well. But you can always look on IWTV.com. I think I'm going to talk to them about a sponsorship because I always plug them. A lot of good independent and good wrestling events as Game Changer Wrestling, Horror Slam, IWA Mid-South. The list goes on and on. Combat Zone Wrestling as well. And fans, let me go back to my schedule here because I got so much coming up this week. It's just a non-stop on the Deathmatch Russell podcast. Let's see what we got here. Looking at the calendars, and I will tell you what's going on this weekend. That's right. Catch Deathmatch Russell podcast this Wednesday night at April 29th at 8 p.m. Eastern Pacific, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Live with Cody Fleming, the host of MIW in Michigan, Michigan Independent Weekly, and Wrestle Rage, MIW Wrestle Rage podcast, the host. Man, it's going to be great to catch up with him and talk to him. Followed by one of his co-hosts on Thursday night on the same radio station. I'm going to have his co-host on MIW Wrestle Rage, Danny Beals, will be joining me on the podcast as well. Stay tuned for that one. Looking forward to that one as well. And then on Friday night, I'm bringing back one of my fun conversational people and pro wrestling manager and referee Damian Saint will be on Deathmatch Russell podcast. And all these podcasts this week will be on Facebook Live on the David C. Russell page. So check it out and give a like, follow, and listen. Thank you, fans, for listening, and have a good night, everyone.
Hey, wrestling fans, I want to mention Collar and Elbow. Collar and Elbow was founded on traditional values of professional wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product intended to connect with people on an emotional level. A symbiotic relationship where one cannot flourish without the other. We strive to create a product that embodies our passion for professional wrestling expressed through street fashion. Visit collarandelbowbrand.com and use the promo code DeathmatchRussellPodcast and save 10% off when you make a purchase. Collar and Elbow, where wrestling passion meets street fashion. Hey, wrestling fans, I want to mention Collar and Elbow. You could find more Deathmatch Russell podcasts on the following social media: deathmatchrussell.com, follow on Twitter at DavidNJ32, and on Facebook, facebook.com/DJDaveNJ32. Find me on Podcast City Network at podcastcity.net, facebook.com/Podcast City Network. Hit the like button and share, and on Twitter at PodcastCityNet. You can hear Deathmatch Russell podcast on Stitcher Radio and on iTunes.